Hi, today I would like to show you how easy it is to protect any sensitive SAP transaction with a second biometric factor inside SAP to prevent fraud. As per Gartner, 80% of security breaches are caused by weak and reused passwords, and one stolen password took down the colonial pipeline, costing $2 million in ransomware and set off the biggest supply chain crisis in recent history. And if you remember Edward Snowden, who caused the breach at the NSA by convincing 20 coworkers to hand over the password, it all starts with this. It's either written down or people look over the shoulder, and then we have ATOs or account takeovers that are responsible for fraud. Now, we can simply prevent this with a second biometric factor inside SAP. Put the finger on a biometric device like this Secugen reader here and lock the transaction down. And I will show you how it only takes 1 or 2 minutes to do that.
To do this, of course, we have to log on to SAP using the same old logon credential and password that we saw on the yellow sticky note. But we have the second biometric factor here on the right. So the window pops up. I'm putting my right index finger on the sensor. And now you will see in the left bottom corner that Smith was uniquely identified. Now we're going into the bioLock transaction, which is in our own namespace /real-time. And of course, it's protected with biometrics. So again, I have to put my index finger on because we only want permitted bioLock administrators to be able to do the changes. Let me get rid of this window here so we can look at the control settings. And we are going into the definition of protected system functions first. Here we will define the function number. We're actually picking a random function number 470. This could be 599. And we are entering in description that we want to protect the F1110, and we're selecting the Secugen fingerprint sensor. We're also setting the global check mark, and we specifically put the person on the allow list, and then also add some log files so we can see what is going on. And of course, we have to save everything before we continue. But now we're going to the next table, and we will simply assign the F1110 transaction to that function 470 that we just created. So we create a new entry, we type in F1110, we assign it to 470, and we hit save. And of course, you can do this to any SAP standard, but also any SAP custom transaction. So everything that you build yourself can be also protected in 2 minutes with bioLock. But now to narrow things further down, we want to specifically put a person on the allow list. So I'm creating another entry and I say this function 470 can only be executed by user Smith. And as soon as we hit the save button, now we can guarantee the CEO that Smith is the only person in the world that will ever be able to execute that function 470 because he is the only person on the allow list. So let's execute the transaction and see what happens. Very simple. We type in F1110, and I'm turning the window back on with the Secugen reader so you can see what's happening. So I'm typing in F1110, I hit enter, the window pops up, I'm putting my finger on the sensor, and the identified user again is Smith, uniquely identified with the second biometric factor. Now we store all this information and can show them either in the SAP log file or better in our own bioLock log file that we can provide to the auditors. And here they can see not only the SAP ID, but also the biometric ID, the first name and the last name that the person was accepted, what function was executed, and many more information so we have clear accountability in the system. Thanks for watching.